Your company's website is the foundation of your entire online marketing presence. So choosing the right website design and development agency is a key factor that will determine how much success your company is able to achieve online. And in this video, I'm going to share the first 3 questions that you should ask any website design and development agency when you're speaking to them about developing and designing a new website for your business. The first question you should ask any website design agency is, if you hire them to build you a new website, will your company own the site when the project is finished? Now you might be thinking, well, of course I'll own the site. Like, why do I even need to ask that? Well, if your website is built on Shopify or Wix or Squarespace, or if the agency that you're working with has their own proprietary content management system or website development platform, odds are that means that you actually lease your website. You do not actually own your website. You, in a sense, rent it from them monthly or quarterly or yearly, depending on how your billing arrangement is set up. And this is very, very important, because if you ever want to add an integration to your website or a new functionality to your website, or maybe the agency that you hired, maybe in the beginning of your relationship, they were very responsive, but as time moved on, they stopped being as responsive as you would like. Well, if you are renting your website from them or leasing your website from one of these platforms, and you want to move away from that platform or from that agency, more than likely, you will not be able to take your website with you. So all the time, energy, and resources that you invested in the site, you'll have to start from scratch and do that same process all over again with a new agency or a new platform. So before you even start the conversation and get into some of the nitty-gritty, the first question that you need to ask is, if I hire you to build this website for me, will my company own the website, or will I lease it or rent it from you monthly? The second question that you should ask any website design agency is, if you hire them to build you a website, will you have the ability to update it once the project is finished? Now, I know you might not be a website designer or a website developer, and the thought of updating your own website might scare you a little bit, and I can definitely understand that. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to update your website should the need arise. Let's say you see a typo on your homepage that just makes your company look terrible. Well, you need to be able to log into your website, update that, click publish, and have that change live within seconds. Or maybe you add a new team member and you want to add them to your team page. Or, maybe unfortunately you lose a team member and you need to remove them from your team page. Or perhaps you just want to run a flash sale just for 24 hours and you want to update that information on your website as quickly as possible. Well, all those are reasons why you might want the ability to update your website yourself, not to mention a myriad of other scenarios that could occur in the future. And if you have to email or call your website agency every time you want to make a very, very simple change to your website, you're ultimately beholden to them. Maybe they have a full support ticket log that day and they're not able to get to your request. Or maybe somebody's on vacation that day or that week and they're not able to answer your email for an entire week. Or perhaps your agency has had some staffing issues, and so what used to take them a few days to execute now takes them a few weeks to execute, or maybe a few months to execute. In all those scenarios, you have lost the ability to make any change to your website. So even if you're not a designer or a developer, I can guarantee you a need is going to arise where you need to make a very, very, very quick change to your website. And if the partner that you are hiring to build your website does not develop the site with that in mind, ultimately it's going to slow you down, it's going to make you less efficient, and it's going to make you less nimble. And all of those things are aspects of your website that you need to be able to capitalize on if you want your website to be as effective and efficient as possible. The third question that you need to ask any website design agency is, will they design and develop your website with Google search results in mind? And this is something that we see almost on a weekly basis here at TechArc. Companies will come to us with a beautiful new website. It looks great. It looks good on all devices, so on and so forth, but it's not getting any traffic to it. And they come to us and they ask, why is this happening? I just paid this other company to build me a new website, but it looks great, it functions well, but no one's seeing it. Like, what can I do to fix it? And more often than not, when we pop the hood on these websites, if you will, we find that these websites have been designed and developed without Google in mind at all, which requires a completely ground up sort of optimization of the website. Designing a website is one thing, developing a website is another thing, optimizing your website for Google search results is a completely different skill set as well. So ideally, you would want to find a website design and development agency that also is a search engine optimization company like TechArc. So when we develop websites, not only do we make sure they look good, they function properly, but we also make sure the fundamentals of SEO, or how you get your website ranked in Google search results, has been optimized for in the development process. This saves our clients time, it saves them money, and it also ensures that once this new website is launched, as many people as possible are able to find it in Google search result, so the company that has hired us to develop and design their website ultimately gets the traffic and the conversions and the leads that they're looking for. So please ask your agency or the agencies that you're speaking to, if you develop my website, is it going to be optimized to stand out in Google search results? And if their answer is no or maybe, I would strongly suggest that you consider partnering with another agency that not only does website design and development, but does SEO as well, because ultimately, to get the traffic to your website they're looking for, you're going to need to optimize your site for Google search results. So I hope you found this video helpful. There are many other questions that we would recommend you ask any website design and development agency, and we will be sharing some more videos about those as well. But please keep these 3 questions in mind. They can save you a lot of frustration, a lot of heartache, a lot of months of low website traffic in the future. And if you're having trouble optimizing your website to get more traffic, or you're working with a website agency that maybe is not as responsive as you would like, please reach out to us here at TechArt. We speak with companies on a daily basis and teach them how to optimize their websites for search engines, how to get more leads from their website, how to optimize their site for user friendliness, so on and so forth. If you're having issues in any of these areas, we'd be more than happy to speak with you.